Hello, David. How are you?
Hi Ali, good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of the AlgoCat Journey. And today we want to, what do we want to do, Navid?
So we are going to learn what is TFSA.
Mm-hmm.
Just a quick recap. Previously, we learned about registered and non-registered accounts in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
and one of those accounts is TFSA, which we want to learn it today.
Fantastic. Okay, so let's get started. At least this time we hope to wrap it up more quickly. And to get started, we have a list of questions as before. So previously we got answers to these questions. Now we want to get answer for the following questions for TFSA. And some of the questions we might already have the answer, so we're gonna just quickly go over them.
Yeah, we're gonna skip those questions and jump right to the next one.
Yep.
So
So
the first question
what is
is,
TFSA?
what is TFSA? That's a nice question. So TFSA is one of the registered accounts that we can create and put our investments in it in order to get tax benefits. And that's my understanding of TFSA. Let's see how Ali is trying to put them in Claude and get the answers for those questions.
So I probably shouldn't just give it all of it, but let's see. Okay, so let's also zoom in here. Um, so basically, TFSA, as Navid said, is one of the registered investment accounts, and you put your savings there, and it's tax-free investment income. It's saying it's much more saving than savings account. It says savings, but it's think of it as a tax sheltered container, and which any income from interest, dividends, capital gains is tax free. So basically, anything that be in it and grows is tax free.
Yes, unlike saving accounts that they are um, kind of non-registered accounts and you are supposed to pay tax on them.
Mm-hmm.
TFSA is tax sheltered and you can get tax benefits on your gains, and basically you can invest without paying taxes.
Right.
Of course, legally, not illegally. So
Right. So like when we put money in our savings account, like bank savings account, that's where they give us that T5 for, right? But this one doesn't have
right,
that.
correct.
Okay, so we need to um, verify these because we are asking Claude. We need to verify the information, but just let's go. For eligibility and opening a TFSA, you need to be 18 at least and have a valid SIN number.
Correct.
You must be a resident of Canada. This is important for temporary residents as you can open and contribute to a TFSA while you're a resident. But you shouldn't contribute for any time you're not a resident of. What does that mean?
So I think like if you are living abroad for, let's say, 2 years, I think you don't get the benefits of TFSA because um, you need to pay taxes and you need to actually file your previous year's tax at CRA.
Okay.
And you are gonna get a notice of assessment from CRA, and there is a contribution room in that notice.
Okay.
So yeah, basically, I think if you're not a Canadian resident, you cannot get those contribution rooms.
Like resident means like you are a PR and or a citizen, or it means you are in Canada?
That means you are here in Canada legally, like on any kind of permits, like even if you are on your study permit, you are on your work permit, all those kind of permits work.
Okay, got it. Okay, so you can also open a TFSA. We got the answer to this for non-registered account, like in our previous video. You can open it in banks, credit unions, any investment firms like Wealthsimple, Questrade, all of these. So there is a contribution room, which is started from 2009. Every eligible Canadian accumulates these contribution room annually. And it doesn't like depend if you opened the account or not. So I know for some of the other accounts, the contribution room starts from the date that you open the account. But for TFSA, it's at least not like that. So if you've been in Canada's like since or before 2009, you have accumulated all those years.
So yes, if you are living in Canada after 2009, you can get those contribution rooms. But again, if you are like you have arrived in Canada in 2019, it's going to be on a yearly basis. Your contribution room is going to increase after each year that you have lived in Canada.
And they're cumulative, like they add on top of each other. So
correct.
There's a personal contribution room. You can log into your CRA account and check your notice of assessment and get this, or by calling CRA. Probably this is the case that it's your first year of filing tax and you don't still have a last year's notice of assessment. I can call them and ask.
Yeah, usually when you file your taxes, you must have you must open an account with CRA website, and then you can usually get this kind of information from CRA's website.
Got it. So it says when it comes to investment options, you can hold cash even. I didn't know that. And GIC, stocks on designated exchanges. What does that mean?
Like any kind of stocks that are listed on any exchanges, like on, it doesn't matter if it's on New York exchange or it's on Toronto exchange, as long as they are on a let's say reputed stock exchange, you can buy those stocks and put them in your TFSA.
Nice. You can have mutual funds, ETFs, bonds, metals like gold, and so for crypto, you cannot hold crypto in TFSA. Okay, this is interesting. However, you can invest in ETFs that track crypto prices.
Correct. Like some ETFs are tracking cryptocurrency indexes, and for sure you can invest your money in those kind of ETFs, but you're not allowed to put money in cryptocurrency directly. So
okay,
that's the catch. Yep.
So crypto, like you cannot use TFSA directly, and like if we want to invest or trade crypto, it's gonna be all taxable.
Correct.
So there are, when you go and create you want to open the TFSA account on, for example, Wealthsimple, there are two options, managed and self-directed. And a managed TFSA is offered by robo-advisors. You like my experience has been like you put your money there, they get a management fee. It's not much, it's like 0.5%, and they ask you a couple of questions, and then they determine your risk level, and based on that a robot would invest based on your money.
Yeah, like you don't have to be worried about what should I buy, when should I buy, or when should I sell. You just deposit cash into your managed account, and then it's gonna be invested automatically for you.
Okay. So on the other side, there's a self-directed TFSA. Like you do the investing, all of the, like you go read the stocks and like you invest. And the account itself doesn't have any fees, but you might pay trading commissions or fund management fees like this 0.5%.
That's true. Like self-directed is, or another term for that is self-managed. That means you need to manage your account yourself. You need to choose what kind of stock or ETF or whatever you want to buy, and when you want to buy, and when you want to sell it, or like all these trading decisions are up to you, unlike the managed investment.
Right. Okay, so like what are the withdrawal rules? You can withdraw at any moment of time without tax implications. What's special is that any amount you withdraw gets added back to your contribution rule, but not until the next calendar year. For example, if you withdraw 10K in 2024, you will get 10K in contribution room back on January 1st. So like if
of the next year.
Yeah. So if I withdraw 10K this year, I am not like that with contribution room is lost until like next year comes.
True. Like let's say we are in February 2024, and you are withdrawing 10K.
Okay.
You are not allowed to contribute that 10K back into your TFSA until the end of the year, which is basically January 1st of the next year, 2025.
Right. So for international investments, you won't face double taxation within your TFSA unless, notably, the US don't recognize TFSA. So like if this means US dividends received in a TFSA are taxable. Okay. I would think like what does it apply to the stocks themselves, like capital gain as well, or it's only dividends?
Yeah, like I think mostly on most of the US stocks, and mostly on whatever you buy on New York exchange or other US based exchanges, you need to pay taxes if you hold them in your TFSA. So that's the same thing for dividends as well. If you gain any dividends, you have to pay taxes.
Okay. So like although TFSA is tax-free, it's tax-free for Canada, and if you're doing anything other than in outside Canada and they don't recognize the TFSA, they are gonna tax you. Canada won't. Okay. So regarding
Correct.
salary arrangements, you cannot have your employer contribute directly to your TFSA pre-tax. Like in RRSP, which is another registered account and is used for retirement, you can ask your employer to directly take a portion of your every paycheck, put it directly on your RRSP, and you won't be even like paying tax of that. And that will also change your tax bracket because that money is taken out of your paycheck. Right?
That is true. Right. Like for RRSP, you can ask your employer to do that, but the like the advantages of that is that, let's say for this month, if you are getting your paycheck, you are being paid by your employer, you're not gonna pay tax on that portion that you contribute to your RRSP immediately. But if you don't do that and you say, I'm gonna do it myself later, you need to pay the tax first, and then next year when you are filing your taxes, you can get your tax back.
Nice. Okay. So like in the cases that you want to do it automatically, you can set up an automatic transfer or automatic e-transfer, or set it as a bill in your bank account, and it will automatically go to your TFSA. And this was, I think, a highlight. TFSA contributions are made with after-tax dollars, with any money that you have already paid the tax. And you're not going to pay the tax in TFSA. Also not in other accounts, you're not paying double tax on $1 that you have already made. But the only point for TFSA that it got is that you won't also be paying tax for the growth of it.
I didn't get your question. I guess there's a confusion here. The thing for TFSA is you need to pay tax on your income, right? And let's say you got your paycheck, it's $1,000, and then you have to pay your taxes on your paycheck. And whatever your tax bracket is, you're gonna pay the tax amount to the government, and then you're gonna contribute whatever you want, like let's say 500 to your TFSA. You have already paid the tax to government out of that 500. But in RRSP, that's a different story. Like you don't even have to pay that tax on your 500. So there is a difference between these two. But whatever you gain in your account, any benefits in both accounts are tax sheltered. You're not gonna pay any taxes in both of them.
Got it. Okay, cool. So moving on, their joint TFSAs don't exist. Like I know joint RRSPs exist, I think. You can open in Wealthsimple with your spouse or like your partner, and like contribute to it. But like joint TFSA don't exist. Like they're individually owned. You can name a beneficiary or a successor holder. You can have multiple TFSAs at different institutions, but like your total contributions should stay within.
Will be aggregated. Yeah.
Okay. So the sum of all of them should stay within the contribution limit.
Correct. You should make sure you are not over contributing, even if you have multiple TFSA. Just sum everything and keep a record of your contribution. and make sure you are not over contributing, because you're going to pay huge, like a high amounts of tax on it.
Got it. Okay. So other question we had was regarding emergency funds. Is TFSA a good option? It is saying it is good because like it's withdrawal flexibility. You can keep part of your TFSA in a low risk investment for emergencies while investing the rest for growth. But the downside is if you withdraw for an emergency, you can recontribute until the next calendar.
Like if you have the money to max out your TFSA, then you cannot put your money on a short-term investment for TFSA, because if you withdraw, then you're not able to recontribute. But if you have not maxed out your TFSA, that means your contribution room is like, let's say 100K, then you don't even need to be worried about this kind of stuff.
Okay, so how about the cases that you move money between your own TFSAs? Let's say I have 2 TFSA accounts. I want to move some money, let's say $500, from one TFSA to another TFSA. Will it be counted towards?
That's a great question. I have no idea.
Okay, we should find that.
Yeah, maybe we should write that down somewhere and ask Claude later.
Yeah. Okay, I have it here. So moving on, over contribution has a penalty if you go over that limit. The penalty, this here says what you need to verify that is 1% per month on the excess amount. So it's not annual. Some institutions offer tools to track your contributions, but like because the limit is sum of all of your accounts is your responsibility. And it's suggesting to keep a buffer below your max limit.
Yep.
So the choice between TFSA RRSP depends on your income level and goals. TFSAs are generally more flexible, better for short-term goals, and if you're in a lower tax bracket. RRSP might be better if you're a high tax bracket and savings, especially for retirement. The biggest risk with TFSAs aren't with account structure itself, but the investment choices within it. While the tax-free growth is powerful, losing money on poor investments still means losing money, even if it's tax-free. I didn't understand.
Yeah, like if you, let's say your contribution room is 100K, and then you put 100K in your TFSA, and then you buy stocks in your self-managed account, and those stocks that you have bought crashes, and then your account is equal to 50K, and then you withdraw that money from your TFSA, you're gonna decrease your contribution room from 100K to 50K.
Until next year.
To 50K. Yeah, but until next year, you are able to recontribute that back into your TFSA. Okay. That means your contribution room from 100K has reduced to 50,000. Okay. And that's a huge loss, I guess.
But it will come back next year, right?
No, it won't.
Like this said, like it will come back. It won't?
That's the withdrawal amount. It's not like we said, if you put like 10K in your account and then withdraw, we're not talking about gains or losses. We are just talking about contribution in that part. We are saying like if you withdraw 10K, then you're not able to put that 10K back until the next year. But here we are talking about losses. if you lose money and then you withdraw, you're gonna reduce your contribution room forever.
Okay. Okay. Considering these factors, it's not just about like fear of missing out, but it depends on like what you want to do. So let's go back to our questions. Let's see if we have all of them answered, or do we need to double check anything? So what is TFSA? I think we got the answer to this, right?
Correct.
Where can I open TFSA? I think we got answer. What are eligible investments? Does it have a fee? Managed versus self-directed? What are contribution rooms affected by? So we got the parameters, right? It's yearly. Or is it more than in that? Is there anything else? Like how you mentioned losing money can be a parameter?
Yeah, that would be true. Yeah.
Okay, so we need to find the answer to that. Who can open a TFSA? Eligibility, we got this. Withdrawal rules, we saw that, but I think there are more withdrawal rules.
There
Does
should be
trading
more rules?
Yeah, does trading internationally affect TFSA rules? Will it be double taxed? So I would like to know more about like exactly more where if you trade it doesn't consider TFSA. Like US, we know it doesn't. Like, does that mean everyone doesn't, or is it just the US? So we know.
Actually, that's a good question. We can ask that later.
Yep. Okay, so we know for crypto, we know for employer, join TFSA. How many TFSA accounts we know? TFSA versus RRSP, we kind of know. When to use and when not to use. We can get to this. Is there anything different when you're Canadian? I don't know if we knew about we understood about residents, but there's nothing different, right?
Nothing different. Correct.
Okay. How to open a TFSA? Can my friend contribute to my TFSA like gift? We didn't get answer to this.
I don't think so. Like, what do you mean by that?
So like they e-transfer
directly?
they e-transfer to my TFSA.
As far as I know, you should like deposit money from your own account.
Okay, we should like find this, I think.
Okay.
Are limits cumulative? Yes. Where to find your contribution room? Can I use it for emergency fund? It is not a good practice to max out TFSA. I know that. GIC, we didn't get answer for this. Does withdrawal change your contribution room? We understood this. Let's say I need to withdraw. Is there any time or anything I can do to limit the bad effects? I think the answer is to this is when you're not losing. What happens if I over contribute? Can I put a guardrail somewhere? We understood this, and risks of TFSA. So there are a few questions that we don't have the answer yet.
Okay.
So let me add move money. Okay. Shall we find answers to these questions as well?
Sure. Just can you keep your eyes on the time and like how far we have gone so far?
So we are in 30 minutes now.
Okay. Yeah, we have time, I guess, right?
Okay. So let's find answers to those questions real quick. Contribution room TFSA. So the Canadian government website has a chart here on the annual limit. So let's look at this example. It says from 2014 until end of 2023, Josh contributed to the maximum TFSA each year. His unused TFSA was 0. His TFSA contribution at the beginning of 2024 was 7,000. On June 15th, made a contribution of 1,000. Then on October 26th, he withdrew 4,000. His unused TFSA contribution at the end of 2024 was 6,000. So it was 7,000 minus the 1,000 he had already contributed. So wait, what? I don't understand.
So he has the contribution room of 7,000, and he put 1,000 into his TFSA account, and then he withdrew 4K.
So it will be, but it will come at the beginning of 2025.
Mm-hmm. So how much is his contribution room in 2025?
17,000. So it says like it started at 7,000. He contributed 1,000.
Okay, minus 1,000. He has 6,000. Then total withdrawals made in 2024. That means 4,000 in profit, I guess.
No, he withdrew
7,000.
Yeah.
So 7,000 for 2025. Then now his contribution room is 17,000.
Got it. Okay, so
I need to hire him as my financial advisor.
So while Claude is trying to answer us, I had this great wealth simple thing on withdrawal rules. So I think it has great definition of all the rules and everything. So here's a suggestion I have, Navid. Because we still have some of our questions unanswered, let's put that for next session. Next session, we come and answer all of our questions about TFSA. And also we are gonna look into a bit into the other registered accounts like RRSP and the other ones very briefly. And we want to decide like why we want to come to a final decision and wrap up on TFSA and registered accounts versus non-registered accounts.
Sounds awesome to me. Yeah, makes sense.
And I think like until next time, we might have like better resources for our the rest of the questions we haven't answered yet.
Awesome. See you on next time, I guess.
Yes. Thank you everyone for joining us today. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.